Previously, I asked on YouTube whether I should revive this series, and a lot of you said no. But to please the rest of you, I've decided to bring this series back from the dead. And with that, here's a new chapter for you all to enjoy. This series is already out, so if you watch it and like it, please leave a comment to let me know so I can keep going. A pair of eyes slowly opened, their amber pupils glowing. A bird, flying midair, was struck by a beam of light. A large glowing stone shone down, startling it. The entire flock of birds scattered in a panic. Golden dust particles floated out from the stone. The sound of cracking echoed in the silent space. He fell from within the stone. Sensing the surrounding environment, he let out a soft sound. Inside the stone, another person was still curled up. He gradually broke free from the stone and fell downward. He cracked open his eyes and glanced below. What's that? He wondered, looking around. Strange? Is this a dream? He slowly lost consciousness and fell straight down. The space around he suddenly turned pitch black. So painful. My whole body aches. Where is this? He faintly moved his fingers. It was damp and suffocating. A drop of water fell on his face, waking he up. There was also a foul, fishy smell. Just as his vision was still blurry, he heard a voice. Meat. His eyes shot open. Fresh meat. He was surrounded by monsters. His face slowly filled with horror. Give it to me. He stared at them blankly, a drop of water still on his cheek. They clawed at He's body, causing him immense pain. His body being torn apart. He screamed in agony. He panicked and gritted his teeth tightly. He held out his hand and said, "You guys should give me," he shouted loudly, "a chance to negotiate." He looked at his arm in confusion. "My powers, they're gone." The monster quickly twisted his arm hard. The pain was so intense that he threw his head back and screamed. His trembling hand clenched into a fist. "You insect." He clenched his fist and punched it hard. "Get lost." A slicing sound echoed through the space. The monster roared in pain. He stared blankly at its severed arm. "It's broken." He turned his head to look behind him. "Am I this weak?" His body began to fall. He hit the ground with a thud and stopped. The surrounding spiders started crawling onto his body. He glanced fearfully at the one crawling on his face. He quickly sat up and swatted it away. He looked down at the spider and the spot of blood on his hand. His eyebrows furrowed slightly. He pushed himself up from the ground, his breathing becoming more rapid. A door suddenly appeared before He's eyes. He reached out, trying to get to it. Suddenly, a wave of darkness surged from behind, quickly engulfing He's body. He struggled to escape it and staggered to his feet. He bit his lip, looked up, and quickly ran past the barrier. He tumbled out of the gate and collapsed on the ground. The spiders on his body gradually dissipated. He quickly turned his head to look back. The wave of darkness thrashed restlessly behind the barrier. They used some dark energy to test the barrier, but for some reason, they abruptly pulled back. He figured it out and thought to himself, they're not chasing anymore. They're afraid of the light. He raised his hand and looked down. He looked up. Then in that case, he glanced around and wondered, what the hell is this place? He stood up and walked outside. He emerged from the dense bushes and moved toward the light. He suddenly froze in astonishment. The magnificent scene before him left him utterly amazed. He thought to himself, the golden crow. This is the surface, the world. The glaring light forced him to shut his eyes. His vision gradually darkened, and he grew drowsy. His body suddenly fell straight off the cliff. Chen Mo's eyes fluttered open. What happened to me? That's right. To bring back the golden crow, I entered the ancient tree. He came with me too. She raised her hands and looked down. Where's He? Hey, He. Can you hear me? It's me, Chen Mo. Chen Mo tried to shout. Don't go. Don't. She reached out her hand, trying to pull him back. He slowly opened his eyes. Before him was the light from a lamp shining down. Bai Yuan, sitting on a chair, spoke up. You're awake. I was telling you. She glanced at him and asked, how did you end up in this state? He asked, stunning Bai Yuan. Who are you? What happened? Where am I? Hearing this, the little girl narrowed her eyes slightly. Bai Yuan picked up a piece of paper from the table. I bet you won't tell me. She held up the paper and shouted, you probably don't know what happened either, do you? At the bottom of the paper was a huge bounty notice. He stared blankly and stammered, Isn't he the crown prince? Why is there a warrant out for his arrest? You know him? Do you know where he is? What happened to him? Bai Yuan frowned and asked, what nonsense are you spouting? Did you think changing your look would mean no one would recognize you? The girl held up the paper and shouted, isn't this you? He was stunned when Bai Yuan called his name. Your Highness, the prince. After hearing that, he asked, what are you talking about? He turned his face to look at the glass window. His eyes widened as he stared intently. He's mind was in utter chaos. My face, He, and the clothes I'm wearing. Holy crap, I'm in He's body. Chapter 2. Moo. He stared blankly out the window and pinched his own cheek. This feeling doesn't seem like a dream. Ow, it hurts. What on earth happened? This kind of soul-swapping plot from a novel. It can't be possible in reality. Moo, he frowned, looking out the window. Reality. He threw open the window, startling Bai Yuan. Hey, the scene outside was an empty field with a flock of birds flying by. In the distance were massive houses. Below, villagers knelt and prayed beneath a divine tree, while several children played together on it. In the fields, a few people were planting rice. Mew. He was taken aback by the sight. A village. At the same time, his eyes quickly glanced upward. The glowing stone immediately caught Mu's attention. The sun on the surface, the golden crow. This is Mu, he's homeland. The underground world, that's right. I came to the underground world because I wanted to return to the golden crow's body. Mew, he was with me then, but why have I swapped bodies with him now? His eyes widened as he stared at it. Wait a minute. So those memories just now weren't a dream, which means I saw myself swap souls? How is that possible? Was it an accident, or some kind of underground sorcery? I escaped the sun with Mu, he's body, and came here. And Mu he became a part of the sun in my place. No, that was clearly my responsibility to bear. Wait for me, Mu He, I will definitely save you. Seeing this, Bai Yuan spoke up. What's wrong? Explain it to me. He glanced over at the girl. This kid seems to know Mu He, and it looks like she doesn't have any ill intentions. Mu He thought to himself for a moment, but lacking information, he said aloud, I'm very sorry, but I don't seem to remember anything. You just said I was some kind of prince. Am I some important person? It was better to act cautiously. Bai Yuan was stunned when she heard this. The little girl quickly shouted, Ha! Amnesia? What kind of joke are you playing, mister? Mew, he hurriedly explained. It's true. I have no reason to lie to you. I do feel like the person on the wanted poster is familiar. But that's it. Right now, I don't even know who I am. Suddenly, a clattering sound rang out as a basin fell to the floor. Startled, they both turned to look. Wanthu suddenly raised her hand to her mouth. Amnesia. Situations like this only happen in stories. She quickly became excited. The world outside the village really is magical. Mu. He just stared at the scene, dumbfounded. Ah, Bai Yuan quickly ordered. Wanthu, you're awake. Go get the medicine. She suddenly realized what was happening. Stunned. Oh, right. Wanthu turned and quickly left. I'll go right now. The little girl turned to look at him. Let me introduce you. That's my attendant, Wan Thursday. She was the one who saved you from the jungle outside the village and took care of you before you woke up. As for me, I am the priest of this Gaoling tribe. Bai Yuan. You can call me Priest Bai. Mu He was stunned, as he thought, the priest of the Gaoling tribe. I remember my mother in the underworld had the same profession. Looking at such a small child, he asked, although there are many things I want to ask, do you believe me? She crossed her arms. I've interacted with you a few times. Even though we can't be called friends, I have a general sense of your character. You wouldn't be able to tell such a proper lie. That's so Mu He of you. It's a pity I'm in this body right now. Suddenly, a voice was heard from outside. Sir, this is the priest's home after all. You can't just barge in. It's fine. The priest and I have an excellent relationship. No need to be so formal. Panicked, Bai Yuan quickly pushed Mu He. It's the chief. Quick, hide. He was pushed down, completely bewildered. Who? Bai Yuan angrily pointed at Mu He's face. It doesn't matter who it is. You can't be seen. You're a wanted criminal. If you're recognized, I can't protect you. Lie still under the blanket and don't move no matter what. Got it? He quickly covered his face with the blanket. Right, the wanted poster. I forgot about that. Mu He, you really left me in a huge mess. The person outside called out. Respected priest, are you home? The man's hand touched the tree trunk. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion. The chief continued with a smile. I wanted to ask how the traveler who met with misfortune is doing. Hiding under the blanket, Mu He peeked out, observing the situation outside. Bai Yuan sat on the chair and said, You don't need to worry. He is still being treated for an infectious disease. For your health, chief, I suggest you stay away from him. That man sauntered in. Oh my. Why is our great priest so concerned about me? Are you planning on getting over our past grievances and rekindling our old flame? The little girl frowned and replied, Cut the nonsense. If there's nothing else, then leave. Don't bother me while I'm treating a patient. The chief held out his hand and smiled. Actually, I came here this time because I need your help with something. You must know that for the past year, people have been constantly disappearing from our village. This is very worrying. The great priest is a beacon of light for the villagers. If you could perform some divination to clear everyone's doubts, that would be for the best. He laughed sinisterly. Bai Yuan looked up and asked, Clear their worries? Listening to your tone, it seems you already know the results of my divination. In that case, why should I waste my energy divining again? You can just step outside and announce the result you desire. To seize power, you've kept me under house arrest in this hellhole for a year. It wouldn't be strange if I died unexpectedly. Oh, right. The missing villagers. That couldn't possibly be your doing, could it? In that case, there's no need for divination. Xiao Wu, standing behind him, spoke up. Chief, the priest is still young and speaks her mind. Please don't. Hearing this, the man burst out laughing. The chief leaned down and said, how could I possibly get angry at a child? What kind of trouble can she cause? He turned to leave. Let's go. Xiao Wu. He quickly replied. Yes. Chief. As he left, he didn't forget to add, it seems the great priest has been working very hard taking care of the patient. We shouldn't disturb her. He then added abruptly, speaking of hardship, how about the priest rests for a few days, and we'll take that guest to my residence to recuperate? The girl and Mu He were startled. Bai Yuan tried to explain again. I told you he has an infectious disease. Moving him to your place might not be a good idea. Hearing this, the chief said to his subordinate, Xiao Wu, speaking of medical arts, I remember you've studied them as well. Go see if we can offer any help to our great priest. Xiao Wu quickly replied, yes. He walked awkwardly to the bedside. Xiao Wu reached his hand out toward the blanket, his hand slowly moving closer. Bai Yuan quickly grabbed his arm. Hey, I said you need to keep your distance from him. Does the chief not trust my judgment? The man chuckled and replied, not at all. I am well aware of your superb medical skills, just as I understand your thoughts of trying to escape. The door suddenly creaked open, and Wan Thu walked in from outside. The chief pointed a hand at her. Am I right? Great priest. Bai Yuan frowned, slightly angry. You. He turned his face away. Great priest. Back then, this little girl was unconscious outside the village, and you begged me to take her in as your attendant. Who would have thought you're both wolves in sheep's clothing? After several failed escape attempts, you're now trying to find more help. Aren't you pushing your luck? The thorny vines tightened, causing Wan Thu to cry out in pain. She screamed in terror. Wait! Just as the scream rang out, blood trickled down. The thorny vines, covered in blood, were strangling Wan Thursday. Seeing this, the little girl cried out in fear. Chief, let's talk this over slowly. Please don't. He asked with a wicked smile. What kind of tone is that, great priest? The chief looked at the group and said, a request like that isn't really appropriate, is it? The thorny vines gradually loosened. Wan Thu's body trembled as they pulled away from her neck, leaving deep, dark holes. Bai Yuan was about to scream when suddenly a figure rushed past her. Mew, he lunged forward to attack from behind. The chief seemed to sense something and was also stunned. A loud thud echoed as he punched the man hard in the face. Xiao Wu frantically turned. Chief. Seeing this, Bai Yuan's mind raced. Inside, Mu He's inner voice was screaming. Calm down. This is the underground world. We don't know anything about it. Mu He grabbed him by the collar and said, sorry about that. I just woke up, so I can't quite control my strength. You're still a wanted criminal. Acting so impulsively, have you ever thought about the consequences? So, if you don't release that child this instant, I might just accidentally snap your leader's neck. A sharp glint appeared in his eyes. I don't care what kind of world this is. All child abusers can just drop dead. The men stared, stunned. The leader immediately recognized Mu He as well. You're the wanted man, Bai Yuan quickly shouted. Wan Thu, the little girl commanded. Wan Thu! Hearing the order, she fell silent in surprise. The other men were just as dumbfounded. In a flash, Wan Thu slammed a man to the ground. She straightened up, casually rubbing her wrists. Both Mu, he, and the leader were stunned. Suddenly, the vines on Wan Thu's legs began to glow. Small tendrils quickly shot out from them. A man standing nearby suddenly started glowing, his body lifting into the air. His eyes flew wide open as the other men began to float up as well. With a sudden spin, Wan Thu sent them all flying. She put her hands on her hips and sighed. Mu, his jaw dropped in astonishment. Wait, this is a vine ability? My own vines are nowhere near this powerful. Xiao Wu, who had been watching in dismay this whole time, started to tremble. He quickly turned to face her. Lord Priest, he's a wanted criminal. Are you going to betray the leader just to protect him? Lord Priest, it's not too late to change your mind. Hand him over. The leader will forgive you. Bai Yuan looked at him, confused. Huh? What are you rambling on about? The only reason I'm not throwing you out is because I think you're normally pretty good to us. But do you really think there's any way for my master and I to turn back now? Now, get lost. Xiao Wu was terrified. He sighed and replied, I've overstepped my bounds. My apologies, Lord Priest. I will be on my way. With that, Xiao Wu left. Mu He watched his retreating back and thought to himself, he's trembling like a leaf. Surely it wasn't because of me, right? A wanted criminal. What a novel experience. Your Highness, the little girl below shouted angrily. He stammered, yes? Bai Yuan turned to him, her expression thunderous. Didn't I tell you before? No matter what happens, you are not to move. Fine. I'll deal with you later, sorry. The girl turned. Wanthu, get our luggage, just like we planned. We're heading to the secret passage now. But, can't she fight? Why do we have to run? Do you have any idea how many men they have? You make it sound like I want to run, but if those guys weren't so rotten, we wouldn't be in this mess. Just forget it, and help me with the luggage. Wanthu looked around frantically. Wait, I think I forgot my storybook. Bayuan immediately cut her off. Don't you dare, we've wasted enough time already. Once we get out of this village, you'll see a world that's way more incredible than any storybook. You can read all you want then. The three of them headed into a cave. I know I probably shouldn't ask, Mew, he began, but why didn't you turn me in? I mean, like you said, we weren't exactly friends before this. Bai Yuan replied with a tired look. That's not the point. What's important is that you're a prince. Besides, I don't trust a word those guys say. They do whatever they want in this tribe, oppressing everyone. I have no reason to believe they'd keep their promise even if we did hand you over. Mu, he looked up, thinking to himself, no wonder she's the priest at such a young age. She's so thorough. Wanthu chuckled. There she goes, playing the adult again. A sudden loud noise made him jump. It sounded like a gate crashing down. Mu, he spun around and shouted, They've found the passage. They're only about 800 or 900 meters away. Bai Yuan's eyes widened in panic. How could they be so fast? Run! Up ahead, the girl's eyes landed on something, a rat that quickly scrambled onto Bai Yuan's shoulder. Both she and Mu-He looked like they were about to pass out from sheer terror. A giant underground rat. Wanthu just sighed and casually flicked the rat off. Clutching her shoulder, Bai Yuan screamed, Couldn't you have used your ability to shoo it away? Wanthu smiled and wagged her finger. Don't worry, I held back. I didn't kill it, so we're good. The three of them soon reached their destination. We're here, Bai Yuan announced. This abandoned mine path is built on a long, steep slope. They'll never catch us on foot. Partway down, there's a secret door leading to a safe house I've already prepared. They'll only find the main exit. They'll never find us. Once things have calmed down, we'll find another chance to sneak out. She hummed appreciatively and said, Your strategies are flawless, Lord Priest. You've thought of everything. The little girl snapped, turning and pointing at Wanthu. And who is this supposed to be? Mu, he just watched in amazement, thinking, to have everything planned out by a kid. It's incredible. As Bai Yuan and her hands were about to touch, something lunged towards them. Wanthu's head snapped to the side as she forcefully grabbed onto a vine. The sharp point of it stopped just inches from Mu-He's face, wrapping itself around her hand. As she was dragged off, he reached for her, shouting, Wanthu! In an instant, she was pulled out of sight. In the dark space, water dripped rhythmically. A foot splashed down. Why'd you catch such a small fish? The leader held Wanthu in his grasp, chuckling. Now, should we boil her or roast her? Mu-He started to lunge forward, shouting, Let her go! But Bai Yuan grabbed his arm, stopping him. Don't. A foot slammed down on a lever. Mew. He was jerked back in his seat as the minecart shot forward, hurtling down the track without brakes. The leader just stood there, stunned. He glanced back at the girl and started. Bai Yuan shouted over the noise. Calm down. Can't you see you're the one they want to capture? You're the prince. Your safety is the priority. Mu-He slapped her hand away. To hell with that. Are you really going to tell me one person's life is more important than another's? I don't care if I'm a prince. He cut himself off. Bai Yuan grabbed his collar and screamed. You still don't understand, do you? You're the prince. If you're a wanted fugitive, that means something terrible must have happened in the royal city. You have to go and find out what. It might even be connected to this entire underground world. Absolutely nothing can happen to you. We have to escape first, and we can make a plan after that. Mu-He fell silent. Fine. The little girl lowered her head, gripping his shirt tightly. Wanthu is strong, she whispered. She'll definitely be all right. He bit his lip. That's right. I'm a prince in Mu. He's body. What right do I have to be so reckless with it? He sank to the ground, muttering, Prince, Mu-He, Prince. Then, a realization suddenly dawned on him. He looked up and asked, Bai Yuan, is it possible they don't know I'm the prince? The way that leader reacted the first time he saw me, it seemed like he only cared about my status as a wanted criminal, not as a prince. The young girl covered her face and replied, That's right. Other than your picture on the wanted poster in Gangcheng, there's no other information, and ordinary people have never seen you appear as a prince, and thought to himself, So, the Mu-He from the underground is a recluse. Since Mu-He is wanted, his parents must have lost power. Was it a secret rebellion or something else? It seems that during the time he was with me, a lot happened in the underground. What a mess. Luckily, not everyone knows about his identity as a prince. That's good. Let's not make things more complicated. I just want to get Mu-He out of my body as soon as possible, so I need to escape safely and as discreetly as I can. Mew. His eyes narrowed slightly as he suddenly spoke up. His unexpected call startled the young girl. Bai Yuan, we have to rescue them immediately. Wan Thu didn't just save me, she saved Mu He's body too. If Mu He were here, he would definitely agree to do the same. Time passed, and soon it was morning. The sun gradually set until the entire area was once again plunged into darkness. At that moment, in a ravine somewhere, after a thorough search, a subordinate reported back. Chief, we've searched all the exits. There's no sign of anyone. However, the chief refused to give up. He gave another order. Expand the search area. In a place this big, where could they have run? The subordinate could only obey. Vang. He made a suggestion. Chief, what if we get the villagers to help us search? It's clear that GC conspired with Fanwangdu Island, putting our tribe in danger. But the chief was dismissive. Get a little smarter, will you? Those wretched peasants still remember that young shaman. Wrong. Do you think they'll believe a word I say? However, just as he finished speaking, a loud explosion erupted. The subordinate reacted instantly. An explosion at the city gate. The area around the gate was suddenly engulfed in thick white smoke. The chief showed no more restraint and immediately gave the order. Just a brat trying to escape through the main gate. Gather our men and surround it. The subordinate bowed respectfully and replied. At the same time, at the chief's mansion, the silent night air was shattered by a piercing scream. The subordinate, Chen Mo, was actually Chen Mo in disguise, and no one had noticed. This is bad. Where's the chief? Her voice was filled with panic. I think I just ran into that wanted criminal from the Imperial City at the back door. Hearing this, everyone immediately gathered around. What? Calm down and tell us slowly. Chen Mo caught her breath and continued. I was just passing by the chief's back door and saw someone sneaking in. I think it was that wanted man. The man listened and then ordered angrily, damn it, that bastard is creating a diversion. How did he know the little nun is locked up in the North Tower? Surround the back door and stop him. The others didn't dare hesitate and acted immediately. Bang. Without a hint of suspicion, he said, You, come with me and guard the front door. The moment there's any movement inside, we go in together. Chen Mo was a little surprised to hear this, but she quickly recovered, a cunning smile playing on her lips. With pleasure. Earlier, Bai Yuan had given something to Chen Mo. It's done. She looked at the object and frowned, seeming a bit annoyed. You fiddled around all this time just to make one earring? Bai Yuan felt slighted and snapped back angrily. What do you know? This is a golden crow light refracting earring. Wearing it can change a person's appearance. I've been researching this unique item for a long time. You couldn't buy this anywhere even if you wanted to. Chen Mo said nothing, just silently looked at the item in her hand and thought, the underground world really does have some dark technology. Bai Yuan turned serious again and spoke about the next step of the plan. All right, the biggest problem is solved. When the time comes, I'll bring them to the old city to help you lure away the main force. You take that chance to break in. The corners of Chen Mo's lips curved up. Thank you. Sorry to trouble you. Despite her words, Bai Yuan turned and left coldly. Then let's split up. Remember to wear that cloak over there before you go out. See you in a bit. Chen Mo watched her leave and called out, Wait. Her face was filled with helplessness. But the problem is, Mew, he doesn't have his ears pierced. Don't you have a clip-on? Chen Mo sighed. She had no other choice but to take a risk. She endured the pain and pierced the flesh to put on the earring, feeling incredibly guilty. I'm sorry, Mu Hei. Time is of the essence. Back in the present, the man kindly tried to reassure Chen Mo. Why are you so tense? Don't worry, there are a lot of us. In reality, she was burning with anxiety. Hurry up, are you done yet? As he spoke, he glanced down. Just then, the man seemed to notice something. Why do the clothes you're wearing underneath feel a bit familiar? But before he could finish his sentence, Chen Mo stabbed him in the throat. Chen Mo watched impassively as her opponent slowly fell, then turned away. As I thought, I couldn't hide it completely. Forget it. Chen Mo stared at the tower before her for a long time. The North Tower, right? She soon got close to it. Without hesitating, Chen Mo began to execute her plan. A residence this big. I wonder if there's anyone else inside. It would be best to sneak in and avoid a fight. She expertly inserted the key, and in no time, Chen Mo opened the door. The person inside was immediately alerted. The man sitting in the middle of the room quietly looked up, his tone unfriendly. Who are you? Who told you to come in? Chen Mo didn't say a word, moving straight in to take care of him. She quickly scanned the area. So much for sneaking in. A single strike from Chen Mo sent the man flying, but she never expected someone to attack her from behind. Fortunately, Chen Mo reacted just in time, quickly dodging to avoid the opponent's attack. In his hand was a very strange weapon. Chen Mo was stunned for a moment. What is that? Are those vines? Ashuan's brows were tightly furrowed, his eyes filled with killing intent as he glared at Chen Mo. However, she suddenly looked behind her in alarm, sensing danger. Without a second thought, Chen Mo leaned to the side to dodge. Achuo's weapon missed her by a hair's breadth. Even so, Chen Mo's arm was injured, and she quickly retreated. Both of them stared at Chen Mo, radiating killing intent. She silently analyzed the situation. One was the main attacker, the other took advantage from a distance. The force behind the blow was immense, but the pain was less than she'd imagined. Still, as Chen Mo looked down at her bleeding wound, she gritted her teeth, steeling her resolve. The most important thing was not letting Mu He's body get hurt. Chen Mo stared at Chuo, who was slowly approaching her. Yeah, coming here empty-handed was definitely not a good choice. If only she could use Mu He's vines. But forget it. Mu He's vines were so useless, the only thing they were good for was a swing set. A wave of anxiety washed over her. She'd hated fighting since she was a kid, so what was she supposed to do against two professionals? Chen Mo squeezed her eyes shut, trying to calm herself down. She had asked Bai Yuan about this before, asking her how to use the vines. Don't waste your effort, there's no trick to using vines. It's no different from us nodding or blinking. The reason you can't control the vines must be because your amnesia is causing some kind of problem with your body's instincts. So Chen Mo had vines inside her just like them. Bai Yuan had reminded her, forget it, that's not important right now, we'll deal with it later. The girl held out a stone. For now, to restore your body's power, try crushing this. And just like that, Chen Mo obediently did as she was told. I don't know the specifics of how you'll recover. She tried, with all her might, her hand trembling uncontrollably. But soon enough, the stone crumbled into pieces. At this level, there was no problem. A worried look crossed Bai Yuan's face. Did it take that much effort? Why has your physical strength decreased too? Chen Mo asked again in disbelief. For real? Her mind started racing. Is Mu He really that strong? That's right. When I first woke up, I sliced off that monster's arm with incredible ease. Could it be that the underground environment has some kind of effect on the natives here? Just then, Bai Yuan continued speaking. But even if this is all you have, you can rest assured and trust in your body. You'll be fine. You are strong, incredibly strong. As long as I can lure half of them away, you'll have no problem dealing with the rest. Just relax, and your body's reflexes will gradually guide you back on the right track. In reality, Xuan was charging toward Chen Mo at full speed. Suddenly, her eyes became as hard as steel. The very next second, a direct attack struck Xuan. Turns out, Chen Mo had landed a painful kick. Chuo, who was nearby, couldn't help but be stunned by the sight. He rushed forward to attack, seeking revenge for his comrade. Chen Mo calmly placed a hand on the collar of her cloak. She moved so swiftly that her opponent didn't even have time to react. At the same time, Chen Mo's foot stomped down on Chuo's vine. He was now completely unable to fight back. Chen Mo's voice was so cold it could make one's skin crawl. I remember your vine. Chuo sensed that the situation was dire and hurriedly called for backup. Where are you? An intruder has entered. Chen Mo slowly tore the cloth in her hand. You're the one who hurt that child, Wan Thu, in the tavern. Her gaze was now terrifying. It was you, wasn't it? Just then, a sudden noise drew Chen Mo's attention. Outside, the area was still dark and quiet. The person who entered was none other than the leader. I knew it. For that little punk to cause such a commotion while escaping, there had to be something else going on. He smirked at Chen Mo. Just as I thought, a classic diversion. Who are you? The leader demanded. But a second later, a look of panic flashed in his eyes. Seeing his subordinates lying motionless on the ground, the leader asked with a tremor in his voice, these people on the ground, are they all mine? Chen Mo replied nonchalantly, yes. Her attitude only enraged the leader further. You. However, the next second, he turned to leave. Wait until I've fixed the village gate, then I'll come deal with you. The leader's heart was pounding with anxiety. That person really is a wanted criminal. A bounty that high isn't just for show. I'm screwed. I thought after dealing with Wan Thu, everything would be smooth sailing. What kind of luck does that kid have to bring back someone this dangerous? But he didn't get far before he was caught. Chen Mo lifted the leader up with just one hand. Take me to Wan Thu now. You can serve as a handy hostage. Unable to resist, he had no choice but to comply. All right. Can you loosen your grip? I can't. Breathe. Chen Mo didn't press him and let go. But unexpectedly, the moment she wasn't paying attention, he saw his chance for a sneak attack. But her reflexes were incredibly sharp, and she easily dodged it, even showing a hint of disdain. Painfully slow. It seems the vine that took Wan Thu doesn't belong to you. Chen Mo spoke calmly as she evaded his attacks. So, you have another expert among you? At that moment, however, another branch suddenly sprouted from the vine, shooting straight toward Chen Mo. Caught off guard, she was wounded. The leader saw the red liquid spray out and broke into a triumphant grin. He was now incredibly smug. My vine has the super rare branching ability, you know. However, the leader never expected that in the next second, Chen Mo would rip his vine apart. Are you blind? The leader was so shocked he was speechless, standing there as if rooted to the spot. Despite being injured, Chen Mo's aura was still terrifying. So what? She angrily grabbed the leader by the neck, her voice a low growl as she asked again, "Are you going to lead the way or not?" The leader didn't answer right away, hesitating for a moment. "I don't think I want to." Finally, Chen Mo lost her patience and punched him square in the face. The leader collapsed onto the ground, with no strength left to resist. Chen Mo was filled with disgust. Scum who abuses children, but she never imagined that another vine was silently approaching her from behind. It snaked its way toward her neck. The next second, it tightened around her throat, but Chen Mo reacted instantly. She turned and glared at her attacker. "It's you." It was none other than the vice leader. To elaborate on the leader's vine, it possessed a multi-tensile strength characteristic. Chen Mo finally understood. So that's it, a vine that fast. That's the expert who took Wan Thursday. Angrily, she tore the vine apart with her bare hands. Now, the two of them stood face to face, neither showing any fear. Chen Mo rushed toward the vice leader, nimbly dodging his attacks. The distance between Chen Mo's hand and the vice leader was now incredibly close. However, at this crucial moment, all her movements suddenly stopped. It turned out that Chen Mo's entire body had been ensnared by vines. She couldn't help but be shocked by the situation. The regeneration speed from behind is too fast. Vice Leader Chi spoke slowly. "You've got a quick mind, but did you think you could escape so easily after what she stuck into my bindings?" The vines were now digging deeper and deeper into Chen Mo's flesh. No matter how much she struggled, it was useless. "I can't get out. How is this possible? This is bad. These vines, they're draining my energy." Just like that, Chen Mo was lifted into the air by the vines. She was so shocked she could only stare, helpless, as the vines tightened their grip, absorbing her strength. Chen Mo was gradually losing the will to resist. The deputy leader's vines were still doing their work. After what felt like an eternity, Chen Mo's consciousness returned. She tried to steady her breathing, but that's when she noticed something was different. Wait a minute. She was overjoyed to be back in her old body. My hair. I'm back in my own body. Was all of that just a nightmare? However, a pack of wolves now stood before Chen Mo, and they seemed to be targeting her. For a moment, she didn't know what to do, and could only manage a bitter smile. But the wolf didn't see it that way. It shot towards Chen Mo like a bullet. She immediately stood up, preparing to counterattack. To her surprise, it zipped right past her without a second glance. A wave of relief washed over her as she thought, "Thank God, it really was a dream." But when Chen Mo turned around, she saw it lunging at a young man, tearing into him. Red liquid splattered everywhere. Chen Mo's brows furrowed, unable to believe what was happening right before her eyes. The fresh, red liquid soon pooled at her feet. Chen Mo stared, her eyes wide with shock, but a second later, something else caught her attention. A single drop of yellow liquid fell from above. Chen Mo quickly recognized the bleak, gray scenery. "I'm dreaming of the time of the underground cataclysm." The other wolves moved in, tearing the man's body to pieces. They were enjoying their prize. Chen Mo covered her mouth in horror. During the underground disaster, beasts like this would actually appear and devour people. What is this? Is this my subconscious guilt? Just then, a human hand suddenly appeared. Chen Mo's eyes widened in disbelief. The wolf had grown 2 human ears, and beneath its fur was the shape of a human body. Stunned by this bizarre sight, Chen Mo froze. After some time, she was once again awakened, this time by the sound of an argument. "This won't work. Absolutely not. You need to get out of here. Now. Take the wanted criminal and find a safe place to hide. In this situation, where could I possibly hide with someone like that? You just need to figure out a way to hand him over to the people from the royal capital. With a criminal this important, they'll agree to any demand you make. Damn it, it's all my fault. I still haven't caught that charlatan. He's definitely going to incite the villagers to make trouble for me. No, you have to act now. Once everyone knows your dark side, I won't be able to protect you anymore. Brother, what's the rush?" The leader yelled angrily. "What do you mean? What's the rush? For all we know, those villagers could break in at any moment." The deputy leader just smiled as if nothing was wrong and replied, "Then we'll deal with them together." The leader immediately refused. "No, you can't. Don't do anything reckless." However, the deputy leader's attitude was completely indifferent. What? Trying to be the good leader now? Hearing all the noise, Chen Mo felt a wave of irritation. So noisy. Is this a basement? She lifted her head to look at her surroundings. Why don't I have any strength? When she saw a familiar face, Chen Mo's own face lit up with relief. It was Wan Thursday. Just then, she saw other people as well. That's great. She's okay. Is there another child who was kidnapped and brought here? Why would they kidnap other children? The leader, not yet realizing Chen Mo was awake, was still shouting, "Now, go pack your things immediately. I'll have someone wait for you at the door." But before he could finish his sentence, a vine shot out and wrapped around his neck. The leader struggled against its grip. The deputy leader spoke with disgust. "Brother, I've realized you talk way too much. Why don't you just take a nice, long nap? and let me handle the rest." The leader's face was turning blue from the lack of air. Seeing this, the deputy leader finally released him. It was then that he noticed Chen Mo was awake. "Ah, you're awake. My apologies. My brother has a bit of a temper. I'm sorry for the noise." She was now filled with rage, desperately wanting to break free from her bonds. The deputy leader calmly wiped his mouth and spoke. "If you're worried about that girl, don't be. She's fine." But there was something very strange in his mouth. Looking at it as a whole, a closer look revealed what might have been a small piece of bone. Sweat beaded on Chen Mo's forehead as she grew more tense. What does he mean? Her eyes darted towards a nearby pot. As a thought crossed her mind, Chen Mo's eyes flew wide with horror. She remembered the werewolf from her dream. In her heart, Chen Mo pleaded, "No, please, no." She frantically turned her head, her hope turning to despair. Chen Mo looked up at Wan Thu, who was lying there, breathing faintly. Blood was still seeping from her severed lower leg. Wan Thu was barely conscious. At that moment, Chen Mo could piece it all together. The tribe members who had recently gone missing. The first time they met, this man had that strange seizure and that bizarre dream. Everything suddenly connected in her mind to form a single story, a single answer. Her expression went blank. Then, a second later, it was consumed by pure rage. The deputy leader guessed what Chen Mo was thinking, but he wasn't worried at all. "So, you've seen it, haven't you? Did you know? The human flesh that clings to the vines is much more tender than the rest. The color of the bones is prettier, too." The deputy leader nonchalantly continued his story. "Here, let me show you my collection. This is the little finger of the Liu family's third son. He was so very delicate. 5 or 6 years old truly is the most beautiful age. And these are a pair of ear bones from the high priest's parents. I used the rest to fertilize my family's garden, and also..." Suddenly, his eyes widened in shock. The deputy leader had realized Chen Mo was gone. Where did she go? In his moment of confusion, Chen Mo attacked from behind. Red liquid quickly gushed from the back of the deputy leader's neck. This gave him a new perspective on Chen Mo. "You've really got some skills." The deputy leader didn't hesitate to praise her, as expected of a wanted criminal from the imperial city. "But how did you manage it?" The deputy leader seemed to realize something. His eyes glanced towards Chen Mo. In her hand, she was clutching an earring. The deputy leader now understood. "I see," he said. "Did crushing the earring sever my vines? How careless of me." It turned out Chen Mo had endured the pain and ripped out her own earring to break free. But unexpectedly, another vine sprouted from the vice leader's tongue. "You didn't think the outcome would be so simple, did you?" Chen Mo quickly dodged, knowing full well that touching it would weaken her. The vine slammed straight into the wall behind her. It was clear the force of the impact was immense. Just as Chen Mo predicted, the vine whipped back around towards her. It was incredibly fast, but she was ready to counter. With a cold expression, Chen Mo flicked her hand, and her earring shot out, piercing the vine and pinning it straight to the wall. But to her surprise, another vine immediately shot towards her. The vice leader was now struggling with the situation, the earring pinning his vine deep into the wall. Bright red liquid flowed out continuously. The vice leader started to get worried. "I can't pull it out. I need to finish this quickly." But he never expected that Chen Mo had already appeared above his head. Without a moment's hesitation, she shoved her hand into the vice leader's mouth. Chen Mo mustered all her strength and ripped out the vice leader's tongue. The pain was so intense he couldn't even speak. The red liquid splattered everywhere. Chen Mo slowly landed after dealing with the vice leader, silently staring down at him. Finally, Chen Mo dropped the vice leader's tongue. The nearby children who witnessed this scene were terrified, cowering and trembling in a corner. Now, the vice leader was lying on the ground, coughing weakly. Chen Mo's eyes were completely lifeless. After a long moment, her brows furrowed, showing clear discomfort. She couldn't take it anymore, and bent over, covering her mouth. The sound of Chen Mo dry heaving echoed through the room. Just then, the door was kicked open. Bai Yuan arrived, leading a group of people. "Leader, how could your people have beaten the high priest to this state? Why can't we just talk things out?" However, when the speaker saw the person lying on the floor, they couldn't believe their eyes. "Leader." Everyone's faces were filled with shock. What happened? How did things end up like this? There's a child tied up over there. Bai Yuan didn't wait and ran over. "Priestess." At that moment, the other people also spotted their children. "My treasure, my child, someone, please help me." Bai Yuan ignored everything around her. She was completely frozen. Her friend tried to control her trembling as she reached out a hand. Finally, Bai Yuan couldn't hold back anymore and hugged Wan Thu tightly, sobbing uncontrollably. The others also embraced their loved ones. "I'm so glad everyone's okay. Oh my god." Others began to notice. "Is that a human skull in the corner?" There were also all sorts of clothes and jewelry scattered about. "That's my uncle's silver necklace. He went missing 6 months ago," a stranger said, bewildered. Could it be that all the people who disappeared from the village over the past year are them? A little girl who had been missing hurriedly shouted, "Mommy!" It was the leader and his subordinate who captured us. The vice leader even said he was going to eat us. It was that big sister who stopped them and told them to chase her instead. Just a moment ago, a really scary big brother with a face that could change shape knocked him down and jumped out the window to escape. Bai Yuan listened silently to everyone's murmurs. Oh heavens, for over a year, what horrible things have the leaders been doing behind our backs? This board, it seems to have human bones on it. Could it be that the Sun family's youngest son, who disappeared at the village gate 3 months ago, is also one of them? What kind of person can change their face like that? They're talking nonsense. The child must be terrified. Take him home and let him rest. As for who did this, don't worry about it. First, let's tie those two bastards up. However, Bai Yuan had no strength left to care. She just held Wan Thu tightly. An unknown amount of time passed, and the sun began to rise, illuminating the entire space. Bai Yuan lay on a high tower and said, "The group has locked the leader and vice leader in the basement and are discussing what to do with them. In the next few days, the tribe will elect a new chieftain. Everything has now returned to normal." She changed the subject to Chen Mo. "What are your plans now?" The amnesiac prince didn't answer, and instead asked, "How is Wan Thu?" Bai Yuan was silent for a moment before saying, "Her health was already good, and with my treatment, in a little while, I'll be able to test the prosthetic leg I made myself." Chen Mo nodded and continued, "What are you going to do?" Bai Yuan didn't answer, turning her head to look up at Chen Mo. But then, she looked up at the sky. After a long moment, Chen Mo slowly revealed, "Chi Mu. I'm going there." Bai Yuan wasn't very surprised. The capital. I knew it. The young girl then made a proposal. "I say, Your Highness, let's make a deal." Bai Yuan was completely serious about her request. "Take me and Wan Thu with you. What do you say? You don't know anything about what's really going on around here, do you? But I know this place better than anyone else. I can help you." Chen Mo couldn't help but be confused. "Aren't you the priestess here? Everyone seems to really support you. Why would you want to leave?" Bai Yuan wasn't concerned about that. In the past, the priest was just a symbol of faith. Even if I leave this position, there will be other candidates. Besides, Wan Thu has always wanted to leave the village and explore the world. She's been telling me that since we were little. And what's more, before the disaster, I traveled to many different tribes and accidentally left some very important things behind. I need to go get them back. To do that, I need someone to protect me. Bai Yuan held out the earring, an equivalent exchange. How about it? Chen Mo remained silent, lost in thought. A familiar face appeared in her mind. "I will provide you with food, clothing, and other necessities. You will join our company and become my new model." Chen Mo's gaze was very serious. She had earnestly asked for the other party's opinion, a voluntary and mutually beneficial equivalent exchange. "If you sign a contract with my company and represent it in modeling competitions, I will provide you with lodging and a reasonable salary. What do you say?" Then, as now, Chen Mo's answer was the same. "All right." She politely bent down to meet Bai Yuan's eye level. By now, the sky had darkened, and the space had grown quiet. At that time, in the dungeon where the vice leader was being held, his hands and feet were tightly bound to prevent any escape. Chen Mo slowly walked into the cell. "I know this might not make much sense, but for some reason," she lowered her voice and asked, "I want to know why you did those things. Can you tell me?" However, the vice leader just remained silent. A second later, he grinned widely, pointing to his mouth as if to signal something to Chen Mo. She fell silent for a moment, unsure how to handle the situation. Suddenly, a voice called out, "No need to ask him. Everyone has already interrogated the leader." Bai Yuan leaned against the door and spoke up. He was apparently on his way back from a negotiation after the great catastrophe occurred. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to survive in the wilderness. He disguised himself as a wolf and followed a wolf pack for 2 months. After being rescued, he turned out like this. He's the chief's cousin. For over a year, the chief has been helping and enabling him, using his position to capture and feed people to him, as well as helping him hide. Bai Yuan also revealed, actually, after the underground disaster, many people came close to death, and they suffered mental trauma to varying degrees. The little girl didn't forget to advise, but that can never be an excuse for doing evil. Don't stay here, it's useless. There are many other things you can do. At that moment, Chen Mo's heart was filled with guilt. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I hadn't stolen everyone's golden crow, none of this suffering would have happened. But unfortunately, that approach didn't work. She followed Bai Yuan's advice and slowly walked away. That's right. Instead of spending time in places like this, before I, this unlucky person from the depths of the earth, return to where I belong, there are still some things I can do. Just like that, the two of them walked away from the dungeon, Chen Mo's eyes filled with troubled thoughts. An unknown amount of time later, a tribesperson brought a meal to the dungeon. A second later, the food and soup were spilled all over the ground. The person's face went pale. The vice chief had disappeared, and the iron bars had been cut. He fearfully rushed off to report the news. At this point, Bai Yuan and Chen Mo hadn't gone far, and both were stunned when they heard the news. Meanwhile, on a certain cliff, the staggering figure of the vice chief appeared. By now, he was nearly exhausted. The vice chief looked at the wolf pack before him. He muttered, "I'm back. You all must be very hungry." The vice chief wasn't scared at all, and even stroked the chin of one of the wolves. Sometime later, a bloody scene unfolded. Bai Yuan froze at the sight, and a hand quickly moved to cover the little girl's eyes. "Don't look." Chen Mo reassured Bai Yuan. "It's okay. Let the adults handle this." Chen Mo silently thought to herself, "So, is this the outcome?" Her eyes held a mixture of emotions, choosing to live like an animal. It turns out the vice chief chose to die in the most savage way, like a beast. Time passed quickly, and it was now early morning. Bai Yuan, dressed in neat ceremonial robes, began to perform the ritual, and the mark on her hand began to glow. Everything has an end, so there's no need to keep thinking about the past. Everyone held hands, forming a circle to perform the ritual. Good and evil had been decided. The divine crow is virtuous. The vice chief now lay silently in a grave that everyone had dug. Some of the children had to kneel solemnly. However, the favors have been exhausted, but have not ended. What has been given has been passed on, and still remains within me. A bowl of water was placed in front of each person. Bai Yuan remained highly focused on chanting. Our souls and spirits wander this place, searching for a moment of enlightenment. That is why this ceremony is performed. As soon as the little girl finished chanting, each child lifted a bowl. They squeezed their eyes shut, their mouths trembling as they tried to swallow the entire bowl of water. But a second later, they all spat it back into the bowls. Those bowls were placed around the vice chief's grave. The people then immediately began to shovel dirt to fill it. Just then, Bai Yuan noticed a figure in the distance. Seeing this, the little girl slowly walked toward Chen Mo. She asked with concern, "Are you okay?" Bai Yuan nodded coldly. Chen Mo voiced the question on her mind. "I still don't understand why you all held a funeral for the vice chief, when he caused so much terrible harm to you all. What's more, the victims and their relatives also participated," Bai Yuan slowly explained. "The moment he died, his soul was taken back by the Golden Crow. Even if we don't forgive him, the Golden Crow won't deny his rebirth because of what he did. Good people will eventually die, that's unavoidable. We should bury them with gratitude and joy. But the death of an evil person doesn't make the pain disappear. That's why funerals must be held for those who are still alive." The atmosphere in the tribe gradually became cheerful again. Bai Yuan added, "The people of the Gowling tribe hunt and farm together and share the fruits of their labor. Every grain of food that each child eats includes the vice chief's contribution, and repaying him through this ritual is a way to say goodbye forever." At the same time, in the middle of a clearing stood a massive tree. The two of them talked under the tree for a long time. "All right, while everyone is in the village, it's time to deal with your vine problem." "What problem?" "Your vines are unusable. This is a big deal. You don't even care about this? Your brain must have been seriously damaged. I think I have amnesia. I almost forgot that everyone from the underground has vines. To avoid making things more complicated, I'll be more careful in the future." "How annoying. This tree is magnificent," Bai Yuan urged her again. All right, there's still some time before dark." The little girl slowly walked up to the platform in front. Chen Mo silently looked up at Bai Yuan. The girl spoke seriously. "First, I, a priest, will help you recall some basic things about this world. Do not forget it in the future. Mu He." After hearing that, Chen Mo muttered the name. "Mu He?" She looked around blankly, searching. "Who? Where?" Bai Yuan shouted in anger. "How can your amnesia be so bad that you've even forgotten your own name?" Chen Mo couldn't react right away. It took a moment for her to realize. "My name is what?" "Ah, that's right. I named her Mu He. So, her real name is Mu He." However, a look of disdain quickly crossed Chen Mo's face. "That sounds horrible," Chen Mo said with a smirk. "Bai Yuan, after I lost my memory, I gave myself a name. From now on, you can still call me Chen Mo." But Bai Yuan seemed to be losing her patience. "You're so annoying." Despite that, the little girl went along with Chen Mo's request. "Chen Mo, listen. We are able to live in this world thanks to the blessing of the Golden Crow. Its existence is the foundation of everything." But at that moment, 1,000 questions flooded her mind. Why are you starting with the origin of the world? Why not start with the story of Pengu creating the world? Is there a way to take notes? A second later, Chen Mo's eyes widened in shock. Bai Yuan was now analyzing very clearly. Without the Golden Crow, there would be no divine vines, and therefore, no Fusang tree. The divine vines rise from the earth in a place that is complex and full of energy. It appeared before the world as a Fusang tree, radiating the brilliant light of the sun, its fame echoing across the land. It channels the energy of the Golden Crow, the bird that reigns over heaven and earth, bringing endless new life. The little girl didn't forget to remind them. We must build our village far away from the Golden Crow. The Golden Crow not only created our world, but it also remade us. Under the sun's light, we came to understand our own souls. Through the Fusang tree, we were able to connect with the Golden Crow spiritually. When children reach about 14 years of age, they hold a coming-of-age ceremony before the Fusang tree. Once they receive the Golden Crow's approval, a vine will use its tip to burrow into their skin, forming a symbiotic relationship. These vines grant the children different abilities based on their spiritual characteristics. For example, Wanthu's vine possesses the extremely rare ability to control gravity. Generally, men are more likely to receive physical enhancements, while women tend to have their intellect strengthened. Although there's no precedent for this, I suspect that your amnesia has made your soul unfamiliar to the Golden Crow. Therefore, it revoked your right to use the vines. Next, you will need to undergo the coming-of-age ceremony again. Follow the methods I taught you and see if you can once again make an impression on the Golden Crow. Chen Mo listened intently, even taking serious notes, all while muttering to herself. It was like a miniature instruction manual. The amount of information it contained could take a whole day to absorb. Just as Bai Yuan turned back, Chen Mo snapped the notebook shut. "What are you mumbling about? And what's that thing in your hand?" Chen Mo didn't answer, just looked up at the scene before her and steeled her resolve. "All right, let's begin." Before them, the vine stood majestically, its leaves growing lush and dense. Bai Yuan began to perform the ritual. The mark on her hand lit up once again. Bai Yuan clenched her hand into a fist, as if she had just crushed something, then held her hand out toward Chen Mo. In Bai Yuan's hand was a strange powder. Chen Mo took it without hesitation. She then took a small amount onto her own hand and, without a second thought, smeared it right onto her face. Chen Mo silently walked toward the massive tree trunk up ahead. She took another small amount of the powder and smeared it on the trunk. After finishing, Chen Mo pressed her body against that spot. A golden light quickly appeared. Then, the entire space was enveloped in a brilliant golden glow. The tree's power seemed to be surging to its peak. Chen Mo's entire body was enveloped in its energy. A moment later, she slowly opened her eyes. Bai Yuan, standing beside her, cried out in confusion. How could this be? Her brows furrowed tightly. Bai Yuan's attention was drawn to Chen Mo's wrist. A new vine. It was recorded in Chen Mo's notebook. In my memory, I fell from the edge of the entire circle. Was I really that close to the edge? What happened between the time I passed out and when I woke up? That night, while everyone else was fast asleep, only Chen Mo remained awake. She was intently studying the notebook in her hands. Inside the notebook, the pages were filled with dense lines of text. Chen Mo silently read line after line. She was so serious, she didn't want to miss a single word. After some time, Chen Mo quietly closed the notebook. She was silent, as if deep in thought. An image of Mu, he appeared in her mind. The entire notebook is almost all about me, but it seems I never truly understood you. Mu He. Or should I call you Mu He? Back in the present, Bai Yuan was also quite surprised by this phenomenon. That's right. This has never happened before. A person having two vines is unheard of. Chen Mo thought to herself, it's because I'm currently in Mu He's body. I never expected the Golden Crow to favor me. After all, I'm not originally from this place. Bai Yuan seemed to have grown a little suspicious. The Golden Crow grants vines based on one's soul, giving you a new vine. Could it mean that the soul inside your body is also new? Chen Mo was terrified by her question. Bai Yuan posed a theory. Can amnesia reshape a soul? How annoying. Those old fogies who support the memory-determined soul theory must be overjoyed. Beads of sweat were now forming on Chen Mo's forehead. I almost gave myself away. Bai Yuan is a pretty good person. Maybe I should just be honest with her. Being this tense all the time is no good. Bai Yuan suddenly laughed mischievously and continued. You should thank them. If it weren't for their research on this hypothesis, I might have assumed you were an imposter posing as Prince Mu He. For the future of the Golden Crow Town, I would have had to. Chen Mo was speechless. I'm never going to be honest. Bai Yuan quickly added. Just kidding. Your existing vine is enough to prove your identity. It's just a shame we can't wake it up. It's very powerful. Chen Mo couldn't help but be surprised, thinking to herself, powerful? Its vine can only swing back and forth. She immediately voiced her doubts. If the old vine can only swing, how is it any different from my new one? For a moment, Bai Yuan didn't know how to answer. Well, however, at that moment, a crisp snapping sound rang out. Chen Mo's eyes widened in shock, rendered speechless. It felt like she'd been struck by lightning. It broke. My soul is trembling. What are you doing? But a second later, the vine grew back, allowing Chen Mo to calm down a little. It grew back. Bai Yuan was still completely nonchalant. Basically, aside from its exceptionally high vitality, all its other attributes are pretty average. They continued talking like this for a long time. Average means normal or nothing special. Who asked you that? Are there any weird special abilities? If I had to say, its recovery ability is incredibly strong. Normal vines regenerate very slowly. What kind of ability is that? I guess it's a practical one. When someone gets hungry, you can chop it up and cook it, Chen Mo judged internally. A terrible start, she silently reassured herself. But it's fine. No matter how difficult it gets, I will free you from my body, and I will atone for the disasters I've brought upon this world as much as possible. From that point on, Chen Mo began to make a plan for herself. This time her goal was set. She was determined to go to the Golden Crow. Wait for me, Mu-hee. Time passed quickly. Sunlight once again illuminated the land, and from within the vast forest, a voice called out, "All right, this is as far as I'll take you." Bai Yuan was stunned and quickly cried out, "What? Weren't we supposed to go together? I've already finished packing my things." Only then did Wan Thu explain her reason. "There's nothing of mine in your luggage, so I'm not going with you." The young girl was completely shocked. "What?" Bai Yuan tried her best to convince Wan Thu to stay. "But you've been studying for so many years. A magnificent stone city, a towering fusang tree suspended in midair, and a capital built upon the world's Great Wall. Don't you want to visit the places where those folk tales took place?" However, Wan Thu's attitude remained incredibly firm. "High Priestess, you understand better than I do how dangerous the wilderness is after the beast tide. After losing my vines, I'm no longer capable. If I go, I'll only be a burden to you all." Bai Yuan tried to persuade her again. "It's okay, we still have Chen Mo. She can protect you." Chen Mo, who was standing nearby, also chimed in. "That's right, Bai Yuan doesn't know how to fight either, so if I can take her with me, of course I can take you too." Unexpectedly, Wan Thu then asked, "Your Highness, are you doing this out of guilt?" Chen Mo was stunned by the question, and her gaze began to shift away. Wan Thu then said, "Before you arrived, the High Priest often spoke your name to me. Please, don't act so recklessly." Bai Yuan, standing beside them, reminded her, "Wan Thu, stop talking nonsense." But Wan Thu paid her no mind. According to his description, you are resolute and brave. Even when faced with great losses, you will still press forward decisively to achieve your ideals. So please, Your Highness, do not feel guilty. And above all, don't make the wrong decisions because of guilt. Believe me, I am fully capable of taking responsibility for the consequences of my own actions. Believe that one day, I will be able to go out and explore the world on my own. Many years from now, a decade or even more, or perhaps in the not-so-distant future, we will meet again in the world outside. Wan Thu didn't forget to pat Bai Yuan's head. Until then, please take good care of our priestess for me. Chen Mo clenched her fists, as if trying to control her emotions. Wan Thursday. However, for a long time, she didn't say anything more. Wan Thu was still waiting. Finally, Chen Mo bent down and hugged Wan Thu tightly. "No matter how long it takes, when you finally leave this place, you will see a world better than the one we have now. I promise." Upon hearing this, she nodded gently in acknowledgement. The Lin tribe once again returned to its usual peace. The steady sound of a knife chopping echoed inside the house. Someone came in to report. "Wan Thu, everything has been moved." Wan Thu spoke as she chopped the food. "You two have worked hard, thank you very much." Soon, the dishes were served one by one. This was the right way. If people got closer, they could look out for one another. "That's right, the farewell is over. I wonder how Priestess Bai Yuan is doing now." Wan Thu spoke slowly. "No need to worry. She seemed very certain. Everything will surely go smoothly." However, on the other side of things, Bai Yuan was being carried off by a fleeing Chen Mo. The young girl wouldn't stop talking. "What's the use of having all those muscles? Just fight them. Kill them." But Chen Mo immediately refused. "No, I can't get near them. They were right behind them. A ferocious creature was chasing them, making Chen Mo anxious. They looked disgusting." But Bai Yuan didn't agree at all. "I don't accept that reason." And so, an argument echoed through the deep forest. "I told you to be quiet when we were passing through the spotted rabbit's territory. You need to solve the problem you caused yourself. How was I supposed to know my stomach would growl then? I didn't expect to get hungry so fast. You eat the most and get hungry the fastest, and you won't even fight a wild beast. Glutton." Bai Yuan couldn't hold back any longer and urged, "Hurry up and do something. They've surrounded us." Chen Mo considered the situation carefully. They've mobilized their entire force. Is it really that serious for someone to trespass on their territory? Acting recklessly without understanding the problem will only further harm Mu-hee. What should we do? That's right, I have my vines. She tried throwing out her vine to swing up, just to see what would happen. To her surprise, the vine actually wrapped tightly around a nearby tree trunk. Chen Mo was overjoyed. It's amazing that a single thought can connect so far away. Next, I'll pull it back. But to her surprise, the next second, Bai Yuan rushed over and cut it, sending her into a panic. "What are you doing?" Bai Yuan quickly explained. "Swinging on vines is a forbidden act in the wilderness. The young girl didn't know how else to explain. It's because it's much more dangerous in the air. I'm serious. Chen Mo was also at a loss for words. However, their path was now completely blocked by the enemy. Chen Mo couldn't advance any further. She got into a ready stance, preparing to fight, but unexpectedly, a hand appeared at that moment, leaving Chen Mo stunned. Bai Yuan threw some kind of powder and said, "Hold your breath." It took a moment for Chen Mo to react. Okay. The spotted rabbits inhaled the powder and collapsed one by one. Bai Yuan explained, "The sleeping powder will only keep the spotted rabbits from bothering us for a short while. So let's tie them up quickly." Chen Mo looked at the scene before her, absolutely delighted. "Why didn't you do this sooner?" Just then, a spotted rabbit suddenly opened its eyes. Chen Mo was flustered as it stared at her with shimmering eyes. She hesitated, at a loss for words. Suddenly, a brilliant light flashed before the spotted rabbit's eyes. After some time, Bai Yuan's voice called out, "It's turned reddish-orange. Quick, take it off before it burns." Chen Mo looked at the roasted rabbit in her hand and muttered, "Such an adorable little rabbit." This time, they followed Wanthu's recipe. After skinning and cleaning the spotted rabbit's entrails, they removed the gallbladder and reproductive organs, added Wanthu's special spice packet, tied it tightly with Bodhi leaves, and roasted it over a fire until the meat turned reddish-orange. Even though she felt sorry for the rabbit, it tasted so good that Chen Mo couldn't complain. She devoured it greedily. "I'm sorry. I'll make sure to eat every last bite of you." Just as Chen Mo was about to take a bite, Bai Yuan spoke up. "How dare you eat the spotted rabbit's meat? Are you that hungry? Spotted rabbits have to peel a lot of chestnuts every day, so their meat is tough and has a gamey smell. Therefore, the best part of them is the tongue." The young girl took out a tongue capable of storing fine honey, plump and juicy, with Wanthu's fragrance. "Try it." Chen Mo's face suddenly changed. "The tongue?" She immediately refused. "I'm not that adventurous with food, so you can have it all." Bai Yuan grimaced, annoyed. What an unappreciative fool. Time passed just like that. Night had now fallen completely. In some corner of the forest, a fire was still flickering. Chen Mo's stomach was growling non-stop at this point. The night watch is so long and I'm starving. Damn it. I'm so jealous of anyone who can just order takeout. No matter how late it is, all they have to do is tap their phone, and food appears. Countless dishes began to appear in her mind. Grilled pig brains, crispy pork belly, fish sashimi, fried yogurt, grilled beef tongue. I'm not eating beef tongue, I'm just a normal office worker. Occasionally wanting to dress up as a superhero and fight monsters with Mu. He was already a big deal for me. Chen Mo sighed in frustration. And now I'm here, having to cut someone's tongue out at a crime scene, and even kill a cute rabbit. What kind of bad karma did I create? Now, the sound of crackling firewood filled the air. Chen Mo's mind gradually grew hazy, and a voice echoed in her head. "What are you thinking? The underworld being in this state is entirely my fault." Chen Mo's gaze grew distant, and finally, she collapsed and fell into a deep sleep. So tired. However, after an unknown amount of time, Chen Mo was jolted awake by Bai Yuan's frantic calls. "Mu Hei, wake up! Mu Hei, get up! We're going to die at this rate." Waking up, Chen Mo looked at the chaotic scene around her in a daze. "What's happening?" Bai Yuan said hurriedly. "Use your vines." Chen Mo couldn't react right away. "The two of us are now on a log, drifting in the middle of a current. Weren't we just on the hillside?" The entire mountain shook violently, and rocks and dirt rained down, and the way out was blocked by huge boulders. And yet, Chen Mo was still in the mood for idle chatter. "Rocks are falling." Bai Yuan couldn't take it anymore and screamed, "Stop talking nonsense and pull me up already." As soon as the words left her mouth, she quickly hoisted the little girl onto her back and ran as if a dog were chasing her, which, honestly, wasn't far from the truth. "Why is it raining mud and leaves underground?" Suddenly, Bai Yuan pointed ahead excitedly. "Keep going, we're almost there." In just a few short seconds, Chen Mo completed a spectacular somersault, getting them both out of danger. Before the stunned eyes of the two survivors, the space returned to its former, quiet state. Looking at the shimmering colors before her, information about it instantly appeared. The golden mushroom is a fungus that lives underground. They root themselves deep into shady cliffs and are as hard as metal, making them very difficult to harvest. They can be used to replenish salt for the soil. She checked herself over while asking the person next to her, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" The little girl rubbed her neck uncomfortably and replied, "I think I scraped my neck. It hurts." Chen Mo let out a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness, I'm not hurt." Bai Yuan's sharp gaze was fixed on someone. As if sensing it, she tilted her head slightly, and as their eyes met, the little girl didn't hold back her lecture. "You're so stupid and thoughtless, so thick-skinned. Why are you so afraid of getting hurt? You even hesitated when I told you to go hunt a rabbit." Chen Mo weakly protested. "I was just looking out for my health." But before she could say more, she was shut down by Bai Yuan's voice. "And another thing, you were supposed to be on watch, but you fell asleep, and our luggage was washed away by the flood. All of our survival gear was in there. The more she thought about it, the angrier she got. If my luggage were still here, would we be in this miserable state? In the end, all she could say was, "I'm sorry." Once the little girl's anger subsided, the creatures hiding deep in the forest were safe again. From inside the cave, the lecture began anew. Chen Mo, we are alive purely by luck. The wilderness changes rapidly, and every step must be taken with extreme caution. We can't just wander around recklessly anymore. The grown-up is right. Chen Mo didn't dare utter another word, just meekly agreeing. The priestess is right, she thought, while silently complaining. But the way she talks is so damn annoying. Bai Yuan decisively changed the subject. Let me see which way we should go next. Her small hand pointed to a location on the map. Here. We've arrived. Next, we need to get to the Yanhu tribe, so we have to go around this way. After hesitating for a moment, Chen Mo pointed somewhere else. Isn't this tribe closer? The little girl shot back without hesitation. You mean Breath City? That place was abandoned a long time ago. Thanks to someone's help, we found an inhabited place to repack our supplies. Suddenly, a light flashed on the old map. She widened her eyes in surprise, observing it carefully. Looking again, she confirmed it wasn't a hallucination. Finally, Chen Mo spoke up. Is this place moving? Bai Yuan replied with slight disdain. Of course, it's moving. This is the blazing red divine vine. She unconsciously repeated the name. Blazing red divine vine. She starts lecturing me without even changing her expression. I don't get any of this. Going out with an amnesiac is such a pain. Chen Mo tried to sweet-talk her. Can you tell me about it? Bai Yuan became serious again, but only for a moment. As I've said before, the sacred vine supports the earth and creates the framework for the world's stability, but it also ages and grows, and each renewal causes changes in the sky and deep within the earth. If a shift in the earth's crust occurs, it will cause the kind of landslide we just witnessed. Chen Mo suddenly interjected. The rain is about to stop. Bai Yuan ignored her and continued her explanation. This phenomenon can also be accompanied by golden rain, insect rain, and earthquakes that can alter the terrain. It's quite common for hillsides to turn into basins. She nodded as if she understood. No wonder we fell into a river in our sleep yesterday. Our land is blessed by the golden crow, a creature that accelerates the metabolism of all living things. Therefore, tectonic and seismic movements occur more frequently. Chen Mo asked, confused, isn't it really dangerous that everything can move around so easily then? This time, the little girl was completely serious. Don't worry. The sacred vine next to the fusang tree is very stable, and everyone in the village takes excellent care of it. In a nearby corner, two sad animals sat side by side as if they had just gone through a major separation, but Bai Yuan remained focused on the main issue. Back to the continental map. It's made from the bark of the extremely rare Fuji tree. After being catalyzed by the fusang tree, it can display the real-time movements of the sacred underground vines in the corresponding area. You see, the areas where the vines are denser have higher terrain, and the opposite is true for the sparser areas. She curiously asked, and what about these white dots? Drawing on her vast knowledge, the little girl answered without a second thought. That could be a herd of small animals or a single large beast. It's best we stay away. Finally, Bai Yuan tacked on one last question. Got it? Chen Mo rubbed her chin and nodded. Got it. The little girl wasn't satisfied. Why are you making that face? She didn't hide her thoughts, saying bluntly. That's quite surprising. Bai Yuan suddenly raised her hand to touch the other girl's head, her warm voice speaking steadily. I just realized that you know so much for being so young, and you don't panic at all when things happen. If you weren't leading the way, I really wouldn't know what to do. This statement left the little girl stunned, her lips slightly parted as if she wanted to say something. A second later, Bai Yuan shattered the atmosphere. You don't even have to tell me that. Let me tell you, in our village, we only have 2 maps. Everyone in the village relies on these 2 maps whenever they go hunting. If I didn't bring the map, the wilderness would be extremely dangerous. Chen Mo thought helplessly. Why are you so worried? Having said her piece, the little girl went to pull out the map again, only to find it had vanished from her grasp. Her red eyes slowly widened in disbelief. They both turned to look at the culprit. It turned out to be an orange cat. As soon as it hit the ground, it thought with glee, this map is delicious. Bai Yuan furiously ordered Chen Mo to chase it, not forgetting to curse under her breath. You damn cat, give that map back. She quickly reported on the situation. There's too much dust. I can't see where it went. The little girl instantly came up with a solution. Use your vines to swing around and find it. Chen Mo was uncertain. Can I do that? Bai Yuan saw no other choice. Without the map, the ground is just as dangerous as the sky. The map is the priority. She smiled, as long, winding vines slithered out from her sleeves. It shot out and latched tightly onto a tree trunk ahead. Chen Mo used the vine as an anchor, launching herself forward with a powerful leap. The force propelled them both forward, closing in on their target. But just a moment later, they lost track of the orange cat. It had vanished. She gripped the branch in front of her tightly, trying to see clearly into the space ahead. Bai Yuan called out, "See it yet?" Chen Mo's eyes widened, using all her visual power to search for the creature. Finally, she spotted the nimble cat. An elated Bai Yuan rushed forward, but in her excitement, she didn't notice an enemy silently attacking from behind. The little girl screamed in fear. A hand reached for her, but it was too late. It was Chen Mo's. Her eyes filled with fear as she turned to see a massive dark figure snatching the little girl and flying away. Elsewhere, Bai Yuan, though terrified, tried to put on a brave face. "You stinking bird! Your breath is foul! Let me go!" Bai Yuan gritted her teeth, sweat pouring down her face. In the end, all she could do was squeeze her eyes shut and resign herself to her fate. Even so, Bai Yuan's hands trembled uncontrollably, and her fear turned into the motivation she needed to scream. "Help me! I don't want to die yet! I just found you!" This dragon paid Bai Yuan no mind. Suddenly, a powerful hand clamped down on its head. That familiar voice spoke again. The dragon's eyes widened, unable to believe Chen Mo could be so fast. She said nothing, but her vines seemed to sense their master's anger and writhed in the air. Chen Mo coldly raised her fist, forcing the beast's mouth open and causing Bai Yuan to let out a sobbing scream. "Let me go, now." She gave a helpless smile, but her words still carried a threat. "If you call me by the wrong name one more time, I'm not coming. Just wait, I'll take care of this now." The little girl suddenly froze for a moment. Another dark shadow had silently appeared behind Chen Mo. Bai Yuan screamed in fear, "Chen Mo." She let out a breath, her expression unreadable. And yet, Chen Mo still had time to explain to her opponent. "I'm in a hurry, my apologies." Her hand swiftly struck its head. "Do me a favor." Before the bird could react, it lost consciousness and began to freefall. Chen Mo used her vines to wrap it up tightly, intending to use it as a temporary mount. "Behave," she said, but suddenly, a massive amount of acid shot out from the dragon's mouth. The little girl's blood-curdling scream still echoed. "This is horrible. It hurts so much." She dazedly called out to Bai Yuan. Chen Mo roared with all her might. "Hey, Bai Yuan, hang on." Bai Yuan spoke in broken words of pain. "Chen Mo, I think my bones are broken. It hurts so much." She hurriedly tried to reassure her. "Don't worry. I'll take care of it." But the relentless flood of acid sent Chen Mo into despair. "She's hurt." The screams rang in her ears once more. "Chen Mo, help." When she looked over, the little girl had been swallowed by the dragon. A large bulge appeared on its stomach, as if to confirm Chen Mo's thoughts. She couldn't believe her eyes. She was eaten. Bai Yuan was eaten. Everything seemed to fall silent. "Because I was distracted for a moment. This is all my fault. I was only thinking about not wanting to let Mu He get hurt. Bai Yuan warned me so clearly. But I deserve to die. I deserve to die. I deserve to die. I deserve to die." The thought had barely finished when Chen Mo shot forward like a flash of lightning. She slammed the dragon with a devastating blow, and then her vines began to coil around its entire body. "You bastard!" Punch after punch rained down, each one powerful and mighty. It couldn't take it anymore and began free-falling to the ground. From the forest below, a heartbreaking sob echoed. This time, the one crying was Chen Mo. "Wake up, Bai Yuan. Come on, wake up." Nearby lay the mangled corpse of the dragon. She gently lifted the small face. Those eyes were sealed shut. Perhaps there would be no one left to order Chen Mo around anymore. Suddenly, the person beneath her coughed a few times. Overjoyed, she began peppering her with questions. "Bai Yuan, how are you?" The little girl wearily turned over. "Chen Mo." Bai Yuan threw herself into her arms, sobbing as she recounted her terrifying experience. "Chen Mo, I really thought I was dead." Chen Mo tried to comfort her. "It's okay. It's okay. You're safe now." She suddenly looked in another direction, her eyes filled with suspicion. All her questions melted into a single one. "Speaking of which, where are we?" Bai Yuan suddenly exclaimed. "So we ended up here after all." This place was once the largest and most prosperous city-state in the town of Chen Mo. A massive citadel appeared before their eyes. "This is Shengxi City," the little girl whispered, holding her chin. "This is awful. We couldn't find Lu Li. And now we're lost in this desolate land. I don't know what to do next." Chen Mo suddenly pointed forward and spoke. "Am I seeing things? There's a head over there." Bai Yuan followed her gaze doubtfully. "What head?" A beam of light appeared right in the middle of the mountain. She wasn't sure. "Is that it? The thing that's glowing?" The little girl's pupils contracted in terror as she screamed, "Run!" No sooner had the words left her mouth than a massive explosion erupted. Thankfully, Chen Mo had already grabbed her and started running. She couldn't believe the power of that light beam. What was that? A laser. A huge section of the area was just blown away. Chen Mo voiced her confusion. How can something like that exist underground? Suddenly, she noticed something that had just appeared. Model. A giant machine appeared in their sight, and Chen Mo's eyes widened in shock. The massive robot gradually fell into a terrifying silence. The two of them cautiously watched the colossal thing in front of them, their footsteps slowing to a crawl as the robot moved 1,000 miles away. Only then did the two cowards dare to breathe a sigh of relief. Bai Yuan urged, "Hurry up, let's go." Chen Mo couldn't help but ask, "What was that monstrous thing?" It was terrifying. No wonder this place became a wasteland. Who would dare to live here? The girl immediately shot back. "That's not how it is. We call it the Butcher. The people of Shengxi City voluntarily abandoned their home to imprison it here." He couldn't understand the thinking of these people at all. Voluntarily? Bai Yuan continued to explain. "A lot of things happened during the cataclysm. Now is not the time to explain. Let's get out of here first, then we'll talk." In his heart, Chen Mo confirmed yet another disaster he was connected to. Just how much misfortune have I caused? But we don't have the Luli 2 right now. Where do we go next? The girl began to bring him up to speed. After confirming that the Butcher was completely gone, they quickly moved to higher ground. "If we can see the hibiscus trees of the Yanhu tribe from up high, we'll be able to figure out our direction." Bai Yuan peeked out and asked, "Is it here?" She wasn't entirely sure but still had to answer, "It doesn't seem to be here." The girl made a firm decision. "Then let's go, quickly." Seeing the person beside her still hesitating, Bai Yuan urged him on impatiently. "What are you waiting for? Let's go." But Chen Mo was looking ahead. "I think there's someone over there." The girl also noticed the person. In front of them stood a figure completely covered in clothes, their face obscured. Bai Yuan still tried to pull him away. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" She wouldn't let up, explaining, "It's dangerous here, he can't stay." But the girl still stopped her. "Don't go. The Butcher could return at any moment. We should prioritize our own safety." This time, Chen Mo didn't back down. He could also die. Bai Yuan immediately retorted, "Well, we don't need you to point that out." He couldn't understand why the girl was so urgently trying to quiet him down. "Why are you so worked up? Keep your voice down," Chen Mo spoke bluntly, without any fear. "Because people have already paid a heavy price for that damn cataclysm, so he doesn't need to." But Bai Yuan lectured him seriously. "Chen Mo, everyone who lives here understands what you're saying. During the calamity, the Butcher roamed across this prosperous land, slaughtering indiscriminately. Despite the heavy price, they finally managed to trap it here in Shengxi City. Shengxi City was once the largest granary in the entire Jinwu Township. No one wanted to turn a former capital into an isolated prison, but everyone still made their choice, because they knew how to make the most beneficial judgment, how to save themselves. Even now, there are still people here. They've either gone mad like that little fool during the cataclysm, or they have their own reasons. Whatever the case, you don't need to get involved. It had been a long time since anyone had heard the footsteps of the Butcher. We should take advantage of its absence to make a move." Finally, Chen Mo pressed his lips together and compromised. "Yeah, you're right. The Butcher isn't here. This is our chance to act." Bai Yuan was so angry she could burst. This guy was so stubborn. He paid her no mind and just laid out his battle plan. "I'll use vines to wrap him up, then we'll run. It won't take too much time." The girl sneered angrily. "You've lost your memory, but you're still so obstinate. Damn it, damn it, damn it." Suddenly, Bai Yuan's gaze froze on the gatekeeper. She was trying to remember something. "The clothes that person is wearing are..." Bai Yuan spoke up, changing the plan. "Chen Mo, it seems we really do need to talk to him," he replied with a hint of scorn. "Changed your mind already?" The girl ignored him, and just explained. "I met him once when I was little. The thing he's carrying might be the Luli 2 for the area around Shengxi City." A moment later, Bai Yuan was bowing before the man. "High Priest of Shengxi City, Lord Qing Teng. It's been a long time. I am Bai Yuan, a monk from the Lingzhou tribe. Are you here conducting academic research, sir? It's too dangerous here. Could we perhaps move to a safer place first? There are monsters roaming the city walls," Chen Mo added, backing her up. "That's right. There were monsters wandering around the edge of the city wall just now." But the old man said nothing, just stood there in silence. After a moment, Qing Teng suddenly spun around and greeted them. "Ah, our guests have arrived," he chattered on endlessly. "It's been a long and hard journey. I am the priest here, Qing Teng." Bai Yuan replied politely. "It was no trouble. Greetings, Lord Qing Teng." She gently nudged the person beside her. "Bow, bow." Qing Teng paid no mind to such small formalities. "Let's get straight to the point. I already know why you two are here. Everything has been arranged. Please, follow me into the city." The two of them froze as if glued to the spot. Into the city? He noticed another detail and cursed angrily. "What's with this old guy? Don't point at people with your hand." Bai Yuan pulled him back to explain. "He's a priest sent by the Shizhou capital. You have to show some respect. But he's telling us to enter the city. He must have his reasons. Now that he knows why we're here, things will be easier to handle. For the Luli too, we should probably go inside." As they walked, Qing Teng began to narrate. Although we live in a prosperous land and enjoy the blessings of all realms, this place still borders the netherworld domain. Therefore, we have never let our guard down. He asked curiously. What's the netherworld domain? The girl spoke up first. It's the place where you woke up, pitch black and filled with ghouls. Chen Mo lamented. What a terrible memory. How did you know I woke up there? Bai Yuan cut him off. Stop talking nonsense and listen to the priest. He smiled kindly and introduced. Ahead of us are the residential area and the southern training grounds. Our houses were all built by artisans from Jufan City, using the sturdiest stone. And we also have a shooting range, an animal training ground, and a team of vine cultivators. He thought to himself, but didn't dare say it aloud, so he brought us here just to show off. Suddenly, Qing Teng's eyes rolled back into his head. His foot caught on a stone, and he twisted to one side. Chen Mo reached out and caught Qing Teng, asking with genuine concern, Are you all right? The old man slowly explained, My apologies. Everyone here is very active. My sincerest apologies. Chen Mo just replied innocently, It's fine, as long as you're okay. But at that moment, Bai Yuan realized something was wrong. Wait, an old voice echoed out from a worn-out diner. You've had a long journey. Allow me to host you. Qing Teng cheerfully introduced, This is the best restaurant in the city. Please, follow me inside. He could only follow along. Okay, thank you. The tables and chairs in here were old and no longer looked new, but they were still in good condition. Under the lights, the old man ordered familiarly, Boss, the usual. Chen Mo felt a slight sense of unease. Is a place like this still in business? Bai Yuan, this old acquaintance of yours is a little strange, don't you think? He didn't get a response and turned to ask again. Bai Yuan? Her lips were slightly parted, but she couldn't say a word. His eyes widened, as if he just realized something. A grotesque tentacle emerged from the back of Qing Teng's neck, indirectly confirming the suspicion. Sure enough, Chen Mo softly called out, What's wrong? You look terrible. But Qing Teng spoke up, cutting off their conversation. It must have taken a lot of effort to get here, right? Things haven't been very peaceful lately. She didn't think much of it, and was about to tell him everything. Thank you for your concern. It's true. On the way. Before she could finish, another hand clamped down over her mouth. Bai Yuan carefully watched the man's every move. Chen Mo gradually sensed something was wrong and glanced at the person next to him. The girl raised a finger to her lips, signaling him to be quiet as her lips barely moved. Don't talk. Look at him. He followed her gaze. The atmosphere around Qing Teng suddenly became eerily unpredictable. The room fell silent. It seemed they had fallen into his trap. Chen Mo broke into a sweat, thinking, What does she mean? Are they playing red light, green light? A bizarre scream echoed. What was that? Bai Yuan's eyes widened defensively. The sound also put her on edge. Qing Teng laughed loudly. Are you saying you just single-handedly wiped out the umbral swarm? Just as I thought. But the monster plague in the region has already gotten this severe. Chen Mo's face paled as he realized something. The man's next words clearly drew a line between friend and foe. We must report this to the Lord immediately. She was terrified, but only dared to wonder internally, who is he talking to? The girl wasn't surprised and simply explained, I don't know who he's talking to. But one thing is certain. Ever since we met him, he hasn't been talking to us. Even though it looked like they were having a conversation, it was actually meant for someone else. Chen Mo swallowed hard, trying to rationalize it. Don't scare me. So what exactly is going on? Is this place haunted? Or is there something wrong with his head? Qing Teng continued to chat cheerfully, as if he hadn't noticed anything unusual. Bai Yuan calmly analyzed the situation, helping him rule out the first possibility. There are no ghosts or demons in this world. Ignoring their conversation, the man just kept laughing and talking happily. Suddenly, another voice rang out. It's all a man-made disaster. Chen Mo flinched and whipped his head toward the sound. Fluffy pink hair floated wildly in the air. The man suddenly looked toward the door and greeted, Boss, you're here? What took you so long today? That person gave a slight smile. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Zhu Sha held a tray of food, and from under his sleeves, several tentacles were wriggling. He jumped to his feet. Who's there? There really is someone else here. Zhu Sha didn't answer, and simply introduced the dish. The climate here is so dry. Our guests can try our signature mixed salad. It's the same familiar dish as always, fresh, reasonably priced, and served with dedication. A glint flashed in his eyes. Chen Mo bluntly asked, This is bizarre. Who the hell are you? Who could possibly eat this stuff? You're eating it? He was startled to see Qing Teng putting the food in his mouth with relish. Chen Mo reached out to stop him. Priest, please don't. But that gentle voice spoke up again. That won't do. Sir, please do not disturb another guest's meal. A terrifying aura radiated from Zhu Sha. Caught completely off guard, Chen Mo could only scream, What is this? Bai Yuan, beside him, immediately answered, Simulated vines. Hearing this, he panicked even more. This kind of thing exists? Priest Ching Teng, run. But unlike them, Ching Teng was still happily eating his meal. Just then, the chopsticks in his hand suddenly dropped, and at the same time, Jusha's tentacles shot straight toward him. As if realizing something, a look of utter shock crossed Ching Teng's face, and he dashed outside through the obstruction. Priest Ching Teng. Chen Mo immediately confronted Jusha. What did you do to him? What in the world is wrong with him? In response, Jusha calmly said, just watch quietly. This is a regular performance. As for Ching Teng, he stopped in front of a ruined street. He then began to tremble helplessly. Why? He hurriedly reached out his hand and shouted, Brother Jin, watch out! The moment he spoke, countless people suddenly fled past them. Ching Teng stood frozen on the spot as he witnessed the horrific scene, his eyes glazed over and bloodshot. Because right before his eyes was the sight of innocent people being mercilessly slaughtered by a horde of monsters. A frail girl grabbed the hem of Ching Teng's robe and pleaded, Please, save me. Her voice grew fainter and fainter. High Priest, please save me. Finally, her hand went limp. The poor girl was dead. The whole time, Ching Teng just stood, rooted to the spot, watching the crowd stream past him as another hand reached out, begging him for help. Sir. High Priest. The boy burst into tears, letting out a desperate scream just as the monsters were about to catch him. But a figure darted past just before the creature could kill the young man. Ching Teng blocked the monster's path while shouting orders. Run towards the main gate. He continued to direct them. Hurry, lead the others towards the north gate. You can't just hide in your homes. The damage at the gates is constantly increasing. Something much bigger is approaching. If you can't make it to the southwest road, then go to the firing range up ahead and lock all 3 gates. Where is the city lord? Watching the scene play out, Chen Mo could only mutter helplessly. What are you doing? Ching Teng, still lost in the illusion of that day, screamed, Someone find the city lord. Meanwhile, Chen Mo could only see a desolate wasteland and wonder. What are you talking about? The man fell to the ground, his knees and elbows already bloody. Hurry, get down. Ching Teng reenacted the events of the past, repeatedly banging on doors, searching and shouting non-stop. Miss Zhao, get the children out of here, or it'll be too late. Then, he collapsed to the ground, coughing violently. Ching Teng's eyes were wide, nearly rolled back in his head. Chen Mo struggled, using all his strength to yell, High Priest Ching Teng, what are you doing? Stop it! His feet trembled as he desperately tried to break free. After watching the spectacle, Jusha finally spoke. Quite tragic, isn't it? He asked nonchalantly. But it's also quite amusing, right? Suddenly, Jusha's senses tingled, causing him to turn his head. Seizing the opportunity, Chen Mo slammed his fist down. Jusha immediately crumpled to his knees, and Chen Mo was freed in the process, leaving Jusha utterly bewildered. Impossible. In his daze, he grew even more certain. My vines couldn't have failed that badly. Due to the sudden release, Bai Yuan was now falling. In the middle of the crisis, the girl cried out in panic, Chen Mo, save me! A moment later, Bai Yuan fearfully peeked her eyes open. Right beside the girl, Chen Mo was rushing over. He ran straight to Ching Teng and asked, Priest, Ching Teng, are you okay? But the girl quickly stopped him. Wait, Chen Mo! Bai Yuan's warning came too late. Things might not be what you think. But before she could finish, a vine shot towards him like an arrow. Luckily, Chen Mo was agile enough to dodge. As he avoided the attack, he tried to reason with him. Priest, we don't mean any harm. We can help you. Just then, Jusha snapped out of his trance. He glanced at them and said coldly, I already told you. Don't disturb his dream. Meanwhile, Ching Teng had completely lost control. He struggled to force words out, gagging as he spoke, his voice growing more agonized by the second. The monster is here. Suddenly, Ching Teng's body went rigid as he commanded, Get out. And just like that, he weakly collapsed. Chen Mo caught him, a complex mix of emotions swirling inside him. Then, Bai Yuan spoke up. It's the effect of a sedative herb. Everything on that table earlier were foods that induce calmness. She was startled to hear that. What? Isn't that some kind of hallucinogenic poison or something? The girl's gaze drifted away, realizing there might have been some misunderstanding. Seeing Jusha, Bai Yuan suggested that he explain the rest. In response, Jusha simply faced them with an enigmatic smile. A moment passed, the air around the city wall still thick with tension. Chen Mo immediately confronted him. So, you're saying Priest Ching Teng's condition has nothing to do with you? In response, Jusha simply shrugged. I just felt sorry for him and helped his family with his care. How could he possibly hurt anyone? Just then, Bai Yuan cut in. Merchant Jusha, what are you doing playing the good guy here? Chen Mo was surprised. You two know each other? In response to his question, the girl quickly explained. That trumpet flower by his ear is a specialty product, and also serves as a pass to enter Shazhou City, also known as the Merchant's Isle, a city filled with unscrupulous traders. Despite hearing this, Zhu Sha remained perfectly calm, the corner of his lip even twitching into a smirk. Then, he cordially invited them. Why be so prejudiced? I genuinely want to propose a collaboration. Why not hear me out before you decide? After his offer, a tense silence followed. Qing Teng's hand wound was now being bandaged. As for Zhu Sha, he began his story. On May 4th, 875 AD, Qing Teng, a young priest in Shengxi City, was assigned to welcome some honored guests from a distant land. This was a routine task, and it was supposed to be an ordinary day. However, just 2 hours later, the windbreak on the south side of the city was suddenly ripped apart by a rampaging beast. 13 citizens lost their lives in the disaster. When Qing Teng rushed home, he witnessed it all. All that remained was rubble, and his loved ones lay in pools of blood. He completely broke down, falling into a hazy, dreamlike state. In other words, he's trapped in a dream, forced to relive the day of the disaster over and over. For him, time is frozen on that day. At this point, he stressed. And whether you had been there or not, he would have repeated those exact same actions. He's done it countless times. Bai Yuan cut to the chase. We could have figured most of that out on our own. So, what's this collaboration you're proposing? Chen Mo's eyes widened in shock. How did you figure that out? Meanwhile, Zhu Sha slowly continued speaking. Over the past few months, I have consulted every renowned doctor and every remedy, only to confirm that there is truly no conventional cure for Priest Qing Teng's condition. And with that piece of information, the girl had figured it out. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, your vines might be the key. Zhu Sha nodded immediately. I've already tried, but it's too difficult with my strength alone. That's why I genuinely need your help. But Bai Yuan just scoffed. Cooperation? That's a nice word for it. You're just after the thing Qing Teng is protecting, aren't you? The air grew tense, leaving Chen Mo even more confused. After what? Bai Yuan stated it plainly, the green lyre, divine vine. The moment he heard the name, it all clicked for Chen Mo. That was it. This was the very reason Bai Yuan was willing to risk coming to this city. If they could get their hands on a green lyre divine vine that large. In response, Zhu Sha leaned in close to her and whispered, You know, as valuable as that thing is, it can be replicated. I'm sure we can work out a mutually beneficial arrangement, right? Bai Yuan considered his offer. Your method is incredibly risky, isn't it? If something goes wrong, the consequences would be far worse than a simple injury. As she spoke, her gaze remained fixed on him, studying him. Just then, Chen Mo interrupted. Sorry, but I have no clue what you two are talking about. He shot a suspicious look at Zhu Sha. What method? The answer came from both of them almost simultaneously. Dream diving. Chen Mo's face froze in disbelief. Meanwhile, Zhu Sha simply continued his explanation. My vines are a form of spiritual personification, with the ability to link the consciousness of living beings. In other words, I can lead you directly into his dream and allow you to communicate with him. A mental illness requires a psychological treatment, wouldn't you agree? As he spoke, he shifted his eyes, signaling, the risk may be great, but it's our only opportunity. Sensing his hidden meaning, Bai Yuan remained cautious. For us, there's the added risk of whether or not you'll betray us. But Chen Mo cut her off. We'll cooperate. He then added firmly. Don't worry, Bai Yuan. If he tries anything funny, I'll kill him. And just like that, they were face to face with a younger version of Qing Teng. Welcome, distinguished guests. He greeted them cheerfully. You must be tired from your long journey. My name is Qing Teng, and I am the head priest here. On the other side, Chen Mo's face could be seen faintly behind a screen, and he thought to himself, this is so strange, pretending to be someone else. Chen Mo quickly composed himself, hoping he wouldn't forget his lines. Backtrack to 2 hours earlier, where Chen Mo was announcing clearly. All right, let us now commence the discussion regarding the collaborative project to awaken Priest Qing Teng in order to acquire the Green Lyre Divine Vine. Minutes will be taken by both parties, and I, Chen Mo, shall be the meeting's chairperson. At this, Bai Yuan was a bit hesitant. Aren't you in pretty bad shape? Can you really handle this? Zhu Sha was quick to respond. If we're allowing interested parties to chair meetings, then I'm just as qualified. As for Chen Mo, he reminded them, with a serious tone, this is something I can still handle. And as for you, either you're in or you're out. If you want to cooperate, then state your demands clearly. Faced with this, Zhu Sha let out a small sigh. He then made his proposal. I need the two of you to enter Priest Qing Teng's dream and find the map's location. Chen Mo immediately shot back. And why does it have to be us? Couldn't you get in by yourself? At this, he began to explain. I've been inside before, but every time he detects a stranger like me in his dream, he flies into a rage and throws me out. After several attempts, he stopped allowing me into his dream altogether. Suddenly, Zhu Sha cheerfully remarked, "Well, think about it. If you were having a nice dream and someone rudely woke you up, you'd probably be pretty grumpy when you came to, right?" Seeing this, Bai Yuan frowned, the pain of witnessing his own siblings buried under rubble. "You call that a beautiful dream?" Zhu Sha offered her own reasoning. After all, if Lord Qingtang wasn't the kind of person who couldn't ignore the suffering of the people, he wouldn't have missed the chance to save his loved ones in the first place. Even so, the young girl was still a bit confused, but that didn't really matter. Just then, Chen Mo suddenly spoke up. Because reality cannot be changed, he can only immerse himself in that pain as a form of atonement. Is that what you mean? A pleased smile spread across Jusha's face. Indeed. For those who consider themselves noble, self-blame and sacrifice are more addictive than poison. Then, he gave a meaningful look at Chen Mo. You understand that well, don't you, Miss Chen Mo? At this question, Chen Mo avoided his gaze and changed the subject. You said Qingtang can't stand seeing strangers in his dream, so what if we be? Before she could finish, Zhu Sha exclaimed. This is simple. A plan was formed instantly. Right now, you just need to pretend to be someone Qingtang knows. After all, both you and that distinguished guest are healthy and have similar physiques. That makes you an excellent candidate. As for the real distinguished guest, we'll need Bai Yuan's intervention to stop him. Back in the present, Qingtang was enthusiastically giving a tour. Up ahead are the residential area and the South City training grounds. Chen Mo followed along, marveling, it's really bustling. At the same time, a warning echoed in her mind. However, you need to be aware of two things. While Qingtang's mental state is still relatively stable, you must maintain complete consistency with the original guest's behavior. Chen Mo asked nervously. And what's the second point? As she was recalling the instructions, a group of mischievous children were playing nearby. Aiming their slingshot, they took aim at Qingtang. Even though I've already mentioned it, I want to emphasize this again. But before she could react, the children let go. The stone flew closer and closer to Qingtang. Don't get careless about protecting yourself just because you can't get physically hurt in a dream. The perception from your mental link will directly affect your nervous system. The pain it generates will be more than 10 times what it is in reality. Vines shot out from under her feet. However, Chen Mo managed to catch the stone first. As she did, her hand turned red from the impact, and she recalled the warning about the potential psychological trauma that could arise. Even the strongest and most resilient man in the world wouldn't be able to bear it. Zhu Sha had carefully reminded her, don't let the fact that you won't be truly injured in the dream make you careless about protecting yourself. The psychological damage from the conscious connection can directly affect your nervous system. The sensation of pain can be more than 10 times greater than in reality. His voice had gradually lowered. Even the strongest and most resilient man in the world wouldn't be able to bear it. Suddenly, Chen Mo flinched. Why did he emphasize that? Wait. The spiritual connection. A thought flashed through her mind, and she instantly understood. Could it be? He's already realized it? With that realization, Chen Mo's expression grew tense, but she quickly closed her eyes. At the same time, Chen Mo let go of her hand, allowing the stone to fall. Then, she forced a smile at Qingtang. Thanks for the warning. With those words, the stone hit the ground with a heavy thud. The two of them remained frozen, surprised by the event. However, a wave of pain suddenly washed over Chen Mo. Her vision started to darken. Are you kidding me? What is this feeling? Chen Mo's mind screamed. It hurts. It hurts so much. What 10 times? This is more than 50 times worse. No wonder. I had to do that myself. I can't move or make a sound. The nerve pain. I can't even feel my own eyes anymore. This nerve pain. When I was little, when I got an anesthetic shot for a root canal. It was Mom with me that day. It wasn't just her palm. The sensation seemed to spread along her nerves throughout her entire body. Meanwhile, the children suddenly yelled out, It's the priest! Run, or you'll get caught and scolded. Over here! Qingtang scolded them. You mischievous kids! He hurriedly looked over at Chen Mo. I apologize. Everyone here is very energetic. We're sorry for the inconvenience. After apologizing, Qingtang paused, noticing her silence and apparent pain. He was bewildered. In response, the honored guest, Chen Mo, was still gritting her teeth and bearing it. That action caused Qingtang's mind to grow hazy. It was in that very moment that she spoke up. It's nothing. The main task is what's important. Then, Chen Mo said weakly, Let's get going. On the other hand, Qingtang's lips moved as if to speak, but he quickly returned to his cheerful demeanor. No need to rush. You must be tired after your long journey. First, let me welcome you properly. Qingtang then led the way. This place has the best restaurants in the city, he suggested, walking ahead enthusiastically. Meanwhile, behind him, Chen Mo collapsed to the ground in agony. At that moment, she struggled to breathe, thinking, If this so-called perceptual amplification is this severe, will my method even work? And so, they stopped for a moment to talk. It must have taken you a lot of effort to get here, right? The situation hasn't been very peaceful lately, Chen Mo calmly replied. Thank you for your concern. To be honest, I ran into some trouble in the dense forest north of the royal city. I encountered a horde of nether fiends. However, I've already wiped them all out, so please don't worry. Hearing this, he exclaimed, What? Did you just say you single-handedly eliminated that entire horde of nether fiends? Just as I suspected. But for the monster plague in the region to have become this severe, I must report this to the city lord as soon as possible. She immediately nodded. Of course, that's precisely why I came to you today. However, Chen Mo suddenly noticed something and shouted, Priest Qing Teng, look out. No sooner had the words left her mouth than her horrified expression faded. In the blink of an eye, blood splattered through the gloomy air. Now, Chen Mo was standing amidst the bodies of many people. The dream continued like this until he ran back home. Upon seeing those ruins, the dream would shatter, collapse, and then return to its starting point. As for Qing Teng, he would sit devastated before the scene, thus beginning an endless, repeating cycle that never stopped. Beneath the rubble, the red of blood slowly spread everywhere. Even Qing Teng was helpless against the desolate scene, and then the space around him shattered like glass. Zhu Sha recounted all of this in detail. At the end of every dream, Qing Teng's already fractured mental defenses collapse. Use this opportunity to connect the spiritual threads I planted in your body with his. This will allow us to pinpoint the map's location. After hearing this, Chen Mo fell deep in thought. I get it, so how am I supposed to save him? In response to his question, the man just shrugged. We have to figure that out ourselves. In any case, we still have a chance before he completely purges us from his mind. While Chen Mo was looking away, right? Zhu Sha slowly asked. He quickly continued. Remember to seize the opportunity when his willpower wavers. Don't do anything unnecessary. If he wakes up, you'll be in big trouble. Back in the present, Chen Mo suddenly touched Qing Teng. He leaned close to his ear and whispered carefully. Just a moment ago, Chen Mo had been intently focused on their discussion. In other words, we need to find the map's location the first time we enter the dream. Then, in the following cycles, we'll have more chances to slowly save him. Right? Bai Yuan cautiously said. Wait, in Qing Teng's dream, just revealing yourself will get you kicked out. Are you sure Chen Mo will have another chance to enter the dream after his identity is exposed? Zhu Sha immediately answered. Of course, when someone is unconscious, they don't retain any memories. He won't remember. And he also emphasized, even if you don't trust me, you should at least trust your companion. As he spoke, Zhu Sha put on a pitiful act. If I dared to trick you two, he'd kill me. That attitude made Bai Yuan frown. However, Chen Mo held her back and affirmed, we trust you. He immediately raised the issue, but now I'm worried about what to do with the monster in the city. If we all fall into the dream, it would be easy for us to be wiped out at the same time. This time, Zhu Sha was still very calm. You don't have to worry. The butcher will wander around the inner city border for about 2 hours at noon. You won't be discovered unless you get close or make a loud noise. I'll find a safe place for everyone to enter the dream. Follow me. He then took the lead to guide them. Chen Mo took the chance to exchange a few words. Bai Yuan, based on what you know about his vines, once we successfully get the map, can he escape quickly? The girl hesitated before answering. He definitely can't beat you, but when it comes to this, I'm not so sure. Chen Mo quickly concluded. So if he betrays us, there's nothing we can do to save him. Bai Yuan agreed with this. That's right. As the conversation ended, she once again stared thoughtfully into space. In the end, Chen Mo spoke first. Bai Yuan, what if I told you I have a way to save him on the very first try? But there's still a chance of failure. If we fail, we won't get the map. He glanced at her and asked, can I go? Ending the flashback, Chen Mo now spoke to Qing Teng. Priest Qing Teng, can you hear me? This action stunned Zhu Sha. Chen Mo, what are you doing? Stick to the plan. However, he ignored him and continued. Priest Qing Teng, Zhu Sha told me. Zhu Sha immediately yelled, you. Meanwhile, Chen Mo pointed forward. Whenever someone mentions your little sister, you fly into a rage. At the same time, he lifted Qing Teng's face. I'm very curious as to why. At that very moment, countless thorny vines suddenly shot out. Panicked, Zhu Sha quickly called out to him, Chen Mo. Even so, other vines wrapped around them, his expression cold and indifferent. Controlling them with one hand, Chen Mo gave a slight smile and warned, don't waste your energy. I just acted as the main host. In the dream, I connected with Qing Teng's consciousness. Outside, Zhu Sha's arm froze at the threat. If you try to sever our spiritual connection in reality, you know what the consequences will be, don't you? In contrast, Chen Mo remained nonchalant and said, Zhu Sha, for the sake of the map, let's just drop this. After blocking the attack, Chen Mo continued his conversation. Priest Qing Teng, No one is bothering you now. Look. He deliberately guided Qingtang's gaze. Right before your eyes, your sister is the child who has fallen unconscious from a serious injury. In the blink of an eye, the vision turned gray. It's clear you couldn't see if they were alive or dead, right? Every time you dream, that dream shatters. As he said this, fragments scattered all around them. At that moment, Muhi also began to question him. But did you really not see, or did you not dare to look? Then she gripped Qingtang's face even tighter. You'd rather torture yourself in this endless cycle than face the consequences of your own choice. That provocation inadvertently made the vines tremble. Schrodinger's box is never opened. With its superior power, it instantly breaks free of control. The cat won't die. Elsewhere, Bai Yuan was still distracting their guest, when suddenly Zhu Sha screamed in her ear. Hey, Bai Yuan, your friend is acting crazy. Get over here and stop him. The girl was stunned when she heard him. Zhu Sha. What's wrong? Zhu Sha hurriedly explained the situation. He established a spiritual link, while Qingtang was still conscious. Qingtang's defensive instincts are out of control now. Not only is he rejecting him, but he's also preventing him from ever entering the dream again.